Good afternoon, everyone. This is your girl, the one and only Coteria, and welcome back to my channel, My Opinion Vlog. Now, let's go ahead and get into Ms.Netta and Mr. Charles or Charles. Okay, now these are two TikTok influencers because I believe they kind of blew up on TikTok. I could be wrong. Y'all can correct me. Now, I know I came across Ms.Netta. I came across her videos and her skits on TikTok solely by herself. Charles wasn't in the picture when I came across Ms.Netta. She would do these funny skits and stuff, you know what I'm saying, like talking about like where's her man. She'll be checking these females basically, you know, about her man and talking like stay away from her man, and they should be talking to her man. So that's how I came across Ms.Netta, and that's how I knew of Ms.Netta from TikTok. Okay, so I'm gonna say, you know, they were like TikTok influencers and then they migrated to YouTube, but I feel like they're more solely bigger on the TikTok platform than the YouTube, even though Ms.Netta and Charles videos do come up in my YouTube algorithm. But anywho, you know, Ms.Netta and Charles been really, really negative inside the news this week. A couple of days ago, I've seen tremendous videos of people giving their opinions, their point of views about what's going on. Now, y'all know Ms.Netta and Charles, you know, their marriage, their LGBTQ marriage is like an open book, okay? They're basically social media influencers. I want to say reality stars because I believe they're trying to pitch or do a pilot program for a show that I heard a few months ago. I don't know if they're filming or if that started, if they got the contract, but we're going to just say social media influencers, okay? Like I say, they blew up because, you know, she dropped a music video in a song that was called Charles, Your Lunch is Ready. Charles is now her husband. At the time, he was her fiance or boyfriend. And that's how they really went viral and blew up off that music video. People start, you know, doing little memes and doing little videos or reaction videos and stitches to the music video. And she started getting interviews, doing podcast interviews, you know what I'm saying, being invited to talk shows and stuff to talk about, you know what I'm saying, the viral Charles, Your Lunch is Ready. And then basically with that music video, she started to, you know, do a whole segment of her cooking for Charles. Now that they're married, you know, they have a house together or a condo, whatever you want to call it. I don't follow them like that, but their videos do come up and I do watch them. I do give them, I don't watch it fully, but I'll, you know, watch for a few minutes and click off. And she always makes him this delicious dinner, lunch. She always caters to her husband. You know, mind you, Ms.Netta, I believe she identifies as a trans woman. I perceive her and I see her as a trans woman. She wears wig, makeup, you know, she dresses as a woman sometimes, and sometimes she can dress like a regular man. Okay? Well, she's not, I guess, into character or doing Ms.Netta. And Ms.Netta is a character that she created originally on TikTok, like I said. But anywho, you know, with her being married to Charles and they publicizing their marriage, you know, on their social media channels and stuff, you're going to get, you know, basically backlash. You're going to get criticized, scrutiny from having a open public marriage relationship, basically. And that's what's kind of, you know, happening. It's been happening once she went viral. You know, Ms.Netta do have like an acne issue with her face. You know, she has these huge like pimple bumps, and people always tend to make fun of her about how her face look. I know they reference her to look like the Leprechaun, the movie Leprechaun. You understand? They say that she looks like a whole lot of things. But people are very mean-spirited when it come down to Ms.Netta. They call her ugly, unattractive, and they be saying why Charles married her. He could have did better, and then they be saying Charles missed, you know, the puss. He missed being with a heterosexual woman. So it's a lot of things I read in the comments because I'm a comment reader, and I see why, you know, this is boiling over with Ms.Netta. She's getting tired of the criticism. She's getting tired of being judged. She feels like people are judging her and her husband Charles' marriage. They got two, you know, they got like they're adding their 2 cents into it, and she had enough. She said people are using it for clickbait and content, and she just don't want people to intervene in her and Charles' marriage. Now, Ms.Netta, I get how you feel about social media. You have to understand you're a social media influencer. Remember, people on the outside looking in because you have opened up this world inside you and your husband, Charles' life. You giving them front center view about what's going on in your household. Everything, wherever y'all go, you have the camera basically in both of you and your husband's faces. So people are going to have something to say. It comes with being, like I said, social media famous. Okay, social media influencer. So I feel like it's definitely weighing on Ms.Netta, and she started to spiral, and she started to get agitated, and she's going off on the fans and followers, the trolls. They are making disrespectful comments in her live. Recently, she was inside like her little hot tub pool with her husband. Looked like some kids, maybe, cousins or nephews or nieces or whatnot. And she was just, relaxing. Had that phone on. She was like, looking at the comments on TikTok or whatever, YouTube. I think mostly she was on TikTok. And she started to read the comments. Of course, there was rude and disrespectful, saying like, look at this man in a bathing suit, like, oh, she's built bad and all this other stuff. And instead of her ignoring it, she feeds into it and read it. And she started going off on, certain negative people that are comment on her live. Then she kind of get frustrated with her husband, Charles, when he's trying to tell her, let it go, ignore these people, they don't know you. But Ms.Netta seems to feed into the negativity. You understand? And she just like, oh, this is my platform. Why they come over here, start with me, talking shit. If they disrespect me, you have a right to disrespect them back. You do. But again, you're the social media influencer. You are recording your personal, space and time with your husband and family on live. You don't have to. So people have a right to look at your live and leave whatever comment, whether it's nasty, whether it's biased, rude. They have a right because it's a public platform. It's not on a private, platform. Okay, like Patreon, and I forgot the other one. It's a couple of them I can't think of right now. So like I said, it comes with, what made you famous. So you can't be, internet or social media or influencer famous, and you think that basically people are not going to criticize you. They are. They are. So if you're insecure, it's going to be easy for you to get your feelings hurt. Okay, it's going to be easy for you to always be on edge, unhinged, because whatever people are saying about you is going to eventually get under your skin. I personally think Ms.Netta needs a life coach, and I also think she needs to see a marriage counselor, because while all this is happening, she's also falling out with her husband, Charles. And this is from the recent videos that I've seen. Basically, I seen one where she was cooking Charles, food. Charles looked like he was irritated. He was waiting for the food. He was on his phone, and she put down the food, the plate of food. He was already sitting down. Normally she always, pulls out the chair. He sits down. And so basically he burps. And I feel like he do it intentionally to get a reaction out of her. And he was like, excuse me. And, she said something, and he said something back. And she's like, she's like, I'm not in the move, whatever. And so he said something. And so she's like, you need to move closer. So she sits down with her plate of food after she gave him his food. And she's trying to basically bring his chair in closer to her. He's kind of being resistant, and he's kind of like, look, I can do it. And so when he tells her, I can push my own chair over, she gets mad. She's like, oh, I ain't got time for this shit. She stands up and she turns off the live. You understand? So like I said, like that's the second video I don't see in the recent 2 days. And she's going off on some other popular TikTok influencer. You understand? Like he dresses up like a woman. I can't think of his name. So she's going back and forth with a lot of these people from TikTok. So like I said, she's this social media, being social media famous is starting to get to her, and it's starting to, pressure her. You understand? And I don't think she's handling it very well. I don't think like she know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming too much. And then, I also feel like she feels insecure about her husband, Charles, because mind you, Charles got his own platform. He have a lot of heterosexual women over there, and they're fantasizing about him. Is calling his wife ugly. You need to come back, to the women. You need to come back over here to, to the vagina side. So there's a lot of comments I've seen. And so, Ms.Netta feels like Charles is swaying to the other side. And like, he's kind of like, like drifting apart from her. So I think Ms.Netta is definitely getting insecure, because when he was on his live talking to a lot of them was female followers and fans, Ms.Netta didn't like that. She's like, don't speak about me, don't bring me up and stuff like that. Mind you on social media. She's also live on her phone telling him not to mention her, bring her up, but you're talking about him on your live. It was a mess. So I've seen a lot of videos between them two, and it's not good. I think both of them need marriage counseling. They need to hire a marriage counselor. They have the money. At the same time, if you're going to be a social media influencer and you basically, your life is an open book, it comes with the territory. It comes with social media. So I think that, Ms.Netta is going to really have to basically put her big girl women panties on and suck it up and deal with it. Because like I said, negativity going to always come. It's going to always be at your front door. Even on my platform, a person can decide to start with me and try to bait me in some bullshit. It's up to me to take the bait or respond to it. We all have a choice and options. Same thing on every social media platform. It has to delete the comments. You have the option to delete the comments while you're on live. You have an option to disable the comments in your video section. So you have control of your platform. So remember, a person's going to only do what you allow. So if the comments is bothering you, Ms.Netta, all you got to do is disable the comments. But at the same time, your platform ain't going to grow because people don't want to be silenced. They want to have a freedom of speech. So if you decide to not engage or communicate with your followers, it's not going to help your platform at all. And you're going to see that your platform is going to take a nosedive and it's not going to be good. Why? Because you always brag about how you making money on social media. Even though people, you don't like people using y'all as a topic of discussion or using y'all for clickbait or having y'all in the title, but you on social media. So if people are not talking about you, you're going to become irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So you need to be talked about. You need to, be in the motion in the algorithm of all social media platforms to basically, remain popular. So that's why I say, I just think she needs a break. She's definitely, she's going to have a mental breakdown and she's probably going to end up attacking the wrong person if she don't just, check out for a while. Also, she's going to ruin her marriage because I did see a video with Charles when he was on the live with his followers, on his channel. Remember, they both have two different platforms, even though they mainly be on Ms.Netta platform. But recently, he been going on his own live, I guess because he's fed up with what's going on and her going back and forth with these people instead of ignoring them. And he's just like, look, she talked that shit on social media, but when the cameras, go off, I check her, I put her in her place as the man, as the, as the head household, as the leader of the household, I check her when needs to be. So even though she talks shit and she say all this and that, like she's running things and she's in control, but he's like, she's in control while she's on the camera. But when the camera turns off, I'm in control. He was like, if she don't get it together, I'm going to leave. And then she's going to be crying and upset once I leave. Then she's going to be begging for Charles to come back. So I see, Ms.Netta really, really got to kind of, bad back. Turn off the camera. Take a break. And just let people watch your old content. You still going to, like I said, get your coins. But you got to know how to mentally check out. This is why I take breaks from social media. And I'm not even, popular or big. But you need to take breaks from social media because it can consume you and you can become erratic and manic eventually. And I can see that this is slowly starting to creep on Ms.Netta. And remember, Ms.Netta is always going to get the most negative backlash because of how she looks. Her looks is not, pleasing to other people compared to Charles. Charles is a very nice looking young man. He's very attractive. And a heterosexual woman like me, they still coming at this man, even though he's a gay man. And, he's part of the LGBT community. So women don't care. So they really trying to, root for Charles to come back to the other side. And I be seeing, this is based on, what I see in the comments, what I came across. So they're always, bashing his wife, talking down on her. And I feel like Ms.Netta's feeding into it instead of ignoring it. Mind you, they've been talking about her way before she even, started dating Charles and got married to Charles. So I don't know what's really going on. Some people saying she's taking hormonal pills or maybe just, the social media fame is getting to her now. Maybe she, is becoming too much, even though she wanted it. It really wasn't Charles that wanted this. It was Ms.Netta. But now I guess it's not, what she thought it would be. Okay, it's not, adding up to her expectations of social media. So like I said, this is kind of spiraling when it comes down to Ms.Netta. She's snapping off, mainly on the heterosexual female. She's kind of gathering them and getting them together, which she has every right to, because if they leave negative comments about her and they call her out her name, she has a right to defend herself. You know what I'm saying? Whether, man or woman, you can't disrespect somebody and think they're not going to disrespect you back. And, you can't play the, oh my God, this is a man or this is a trans. Fair is fair. Okay, but like I said, I like Ms.Netta and Ms. Charles as a married couple. I identify Ms.Netta as a transgender woman, as a woman. You understand? And she is trying to work on her acne, but sometimes it's hereditary. It's in her genetics as to why she has bad. She's trying her best to kind of get treatment, but sometimes, with all the treatments that you pay thousands of dollars for, it just don't cure or help, the acne that you currently got present. And sometimes it's something that's in your genetics. So she knows with the bad acne she got, it kind of, makes her insecure and make her feel ugly when you got, people on the outside looking in. who don't know what's going on, just being mean spirit and just being mean, they're going to always use that, as a weapon to weaponize her. You understand? So, like I said, it's sad. Ms.Netta, don't lose your husband, because I think Charles really do love you, but you're insecure, and I feel like you kind of in your mind competing with the heterosexual women, because every woman have a trait of jealousy or insecurity. It's just even men too. You understand? So they're gonna always feel like, oh, you know what? There might be another woman that could take my man, take my husband. You understand? Like, draw his attention. So I can see she gets really upset when Charles is on his live interacting with the female audience. He got gay audience and LGBT audience too. He also got heterosexual women over there. You know what I'm saying? So I think she feels a little bit insecure. But that's all I got to say regarding this Ms.Netta and Charles situation. But she definitely is getting some people together, cursing them out. And I don't like to see her in this space, because that's not her. But I know when people pile up on you, what I'm saying, you got so much pressure on your shoulder and stuff, you kind of you break eventually, and it's human nature. And I don't want her to lose her fans, because there was one fan that was trying to talk to her, and she was so agitated by what happened earlier on the live. She was kind of giving one of her fans attitude, and I didn't like that. She was kind of like, saying, like, taking her frustration out on one of the fans when I seen it on TikTok. But like I said, I pray Ms.Netta and Charles kind of get it together, take a break. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a marriage counselor and talk about whatever they're kind of struggling, as a husband and wife, what's going on in their life. Hope they, get the help that they need. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate to see them divorce. But that's all I got to say, y'all, and I'll catch y'all later.